Hello students, welcome to Discover English. In today's lesson, we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is, how is IELTS speaking assessed? How do they assess my final speaking score in IELTS? I can start teaching you directly about IELTS speaking. I can directly start discussing questions with you, but that has no point until and unless we are very clear in our mind how exactly my speaking is going to be marked in IELTS. And what is IELTS, by the way? It is an international English language testing system. So, how do you think you get your final speaking score in IELTS? It is only when you're very clear in your mind what exactly the examiner is looking for that you can prepare your strategy accordingly, isn't it? So let us discuss how exactly IELTS speaking is being assessed. Let me tell you students, there are 4 main criteria on the basis of which your ultimate IELTS speaking is being marked. The first one is fluency and coherence. Fluency and coherence. Now, what is that? Is fluency about the speed with which I speak in English? Many students say that, ma'am, fluency means speaking very fast. No, that is not fluency. Fluency is you should be able to speak at your normal pace of speaking by maintaining the natural flow and continuity of the language. When you speak, it should sound as if you are just speaking your native language. For example, if you listen to me speaking, you would feel that I am not making any effort while speaking in English. So that is what we mean by fluency. The ability to speak with the normal flow and natural continuity. Moving on to coherence. What is coherence? To talk briefly, I can say coherence is the quality of being logical and consistent. That means the flow of my information should be logical and consistent. My speech should be coherent and it should be connected appropriately. The speech must be in order. That is what I mean by coherence. Moving on to the next one. Next one is lexical resource. Now, what is lexical resource on the basis of which I am being marked in IELTS speaking? Well, the lexical resource is the ability to use right words in right situations. Many times what happens is you are very nervous. When you're sitting in the exam, you tend to get nervous. So out of nervousness, or maybe because you do not know the right word, you end up using incorrect words. For example, you might say, the ship was swimming in the sea. Now, is this the right way of using this sentence? Certainly not. The word swimming is incorrect here. What do I want to indicate? I want to indicate that the ship was moving on water. So what is the right word for moving on water? The right word is sailing. I must say the ship was sailing in the sea, not swimming in the sea. So this is what I mean by lexical resource. That means I must be able to use right words in the right situations. Do not make this blunder of using incorrect words like this. The next one is grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy. Now, what is this? What do we mean by grammatical range and accuracy? Talking about grammatical range, first of all, it means the variety in sentence structure that you can show during the speaking test. For example, I welcome my friend to my house. First time when she visits my house, I say, "Hi Suzanne, welcome home." The next time she visits my house, do I use the same style of welcoming my friend? I can use a different style. I can say, "Hi Suzanne, what a pleasant surprise to see you." Maybe the third time when she comes to my house, I can say, it is always good to see you at my house, Suzanne. So every time I am showing a different variety in sentence structure. So this is what we mean by grammatical range. The examiner wants to see the variety you show in sentence structure while speaking in IELTS. Coming to the grammatical accuracy. Now, what is grammatical accuracy? It means your ability to use grammar correctly while speaking. That is, the use of correct verbs, correct tenses, correct prepositions, correct articles, so on and so on. You have to be very careful with the grammatical rules while speaking in IELTS. Last but not the least is pronunciation. I'm sure all of you must be knowing what pronunciation is. It is the ability to speak the words in the right manner. That is what we mean by pronunciation. So students, these are the 4 criteria on which you are being marked in IELTS speaking. Whenever you are speaking in IELTS section, examiner is strictly focusing on these 4 points: your fluency and coherence in speaking, lexical resource, which is the ability to use right words and right situations, grammatical range and accuracy, then comes pronunciation. Now, for example, you have scored 7 in fluency and coherence. You have scored, let's say 7 again in lexical resource. Assuming that you have scored 6 in grammatical range and accuracy, and you have scored, let's say, 8 in pronunciation. So 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8, it becomes 28 divided by 4, which is 7. That will be your ultimate speaking band score in IELTS. So these are the 4 very important points on the basis of which you are being marked in IELTS speaking. I would like to discuss a couple of things with you here. Many of my students ask me that, ma'am, now that we have got to know about all these 4 criteria on which my speaking is being assessed in IELTS, it might still happen that I may not know about certain topics in IELTS. After all, IELTS is an exam wherein anything and everything under the sun can be asked, isn't it? You are not given a particular syllabus specifying these are the topics from which you will be asked questions. Nothing like that. The examiner can question you from anything and everything. So what do you do in those situations wherein you just have no idea about the topic that you are being asked? How do you tackle such situations in exam? Would you just sit there quietly thinking what to do? Would you tell the examiner, sir, I'm sorry, I do not know about this topic? How exactly would you tackle this situation in exam? You cannot let your entire preparation go in vain just because you did not know about a certain topic. What would you do in such a situation? Think about it. It is not always possible to give perfect answers to all the questions. In fact, I would rather say that there are no perfect replies. The golden rule that you must remember in IELTS speaking is, how you speak is more important than what you speak. I repeat, how you speak is more important than what you speak. Now, what do I mean by that? In IELTS speaking, I am being assessed only on these 4 criteria, that is fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, pronunciation. Nowhere the examiner is testing my general knowledge. Examiner is not keen to know whether I know about a certain topic or not. All he wants to see is how good I am at these 4 points. So even if you do not know about a certain topic, you can always speak some 4-5 sentences on that. For example, you have been asked in the exam, tell me about your favorite historian. Now, who studies history? Most of the students, they run away from history. You are sitting in IELTS exam wherein the examiner has questioned you on a topic as boring as history. What do you do in this case? Would you just sit quiet? Would you just look at the examiner's face and wonder what to answer? No. You can still manage to speak some 4 to 5 sentences on that and let the examiner test all these 4 things. For example, what you can do in this case, you can say, I am a person who has always been away from history throughout her life. And to talk about historian is something which I just cannot imagine because I used to always run away from history. I have absolutely no idea about historians because I barely read history. That's it. You have still managed to give the examiner enough room so that he can judge you on these 4 things. Please remember, students, in IELTS speaking, do not get nervous if you do not know about a certain topic. Just manage to speak some 4 to 5 sentences so that the examiner can test you on these 4 things. He is not testing you on your general knowledge. All he wants to test is how is your fluency in speaking. That is, do you maintain the natural continuity and flow while speaking? How do you connect your speech? That is coherence. Do you speak in an orderly manner? Then he wants to see that, do you use right words and right situations? That is, he is kind of testing your vocabulary. Then comes grammatical range and accuracy. He wants to see the variety you use in your sentence structure. He also wants to see how well do you use grammar while speaking. And last but not the least is pronunciation. He wants to see how you speak words. Please remember that the more effort an examiner has to make while listening to you, the more are your chances of your marks being deducted in IELTS. So students, I hope this session has given you a very good clarity how you are being marked in IELTS speaking. So from now on, do not get nervous thinking that, oh my god, I do not know about this topic, what do I do? You are intelligent enough to still manage to speak some 4 to 5 sentences on that topic so that the examiner can test what he actually wants to test. I'll be back very soon with many more techniques to help you succeed in many more exams like CAT, GMAT, GRE, etc. For that, keep subscribing to my channel so that you stay in touch with all my lessons. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.